If you're choosing a webinar provider, ask the experts. This video is the third in a series of how to choose a webinar provider. And this time it's all about getting some external help by taking the pressure off yourself to get an expert to help you. And there are 5 ways that you can ask the experts. Let's dive in.
Come on, I'm getting car sick. Get to the point!
The first way you can get help is to ask the experts at your school or workplace. The people you work with. Ask them about their experience with webinars. Ask them about what works for them and what doesn't work for them, about what they've learned. Build on their experience. Avoid the mistakes that they might have made. Listen with a degree of common sense. Pick out the things that make sense to you, pick out the things that sound like words of wisdom and use them to your advantage. The second way you can ask the experts is to go and visit forums or groups. Now there might be some local meetups of webinar providers, but I suspect not, they're pretty rare. More likely you'll go online to do this. So go online and search. Google is your friend. And find forums or groups of webinar experts. There's plenty of them on the internet. Go looking for one that meshes well with what you're going to be doing. And here's a ninja trick. Look for one that specializes in the same software that you're using. So contact the vendor, go to their website, find out if they've got a community or a forum that deals specifically with the webinar software that you use, and go and find forums and groups where you can solicit the help from a variety of experts and ask you questions. The third way you can solicit help to ask the experts is from podcasts and blogs. There are loads of blogs on the internet dealing with helping you with your webinar issues and helping you become a webinar provider. Some are better than others, but find one that works for you. Also, don't discount the podcasts. There are several really good podcasts about webinars and webinar skills. So find one that works for you and you can listen in the comfort of your car or on the treadmill. The fourth way you can ask the experts is to participate in the webinars survey. Now there's a ding ding here for something that I look after, but the webinar survey is a great way of participating and providing feedback about your webinar experiences whilst accessing the results of others and what others think. So go visit the webinar survey site and give your input as to how webinars work well for you and your favorite resources and software and presenters, and find out what others like. That way you can get quick fire access to the experts in our industry. And the final way that you can ask the experts is to engage a coach or consultant. Get somebody one-on-one who's ready to help you. Search around, find somebody who meshes well with your values and the type of webinars you want to present, and become a rock star by soliciting their help to help you take your webinars to another level. It's interesting that out of all the webinar experts that I interview, one of the themes that comes up a lot is the help that they got from a mentor or a coach. Duplicate that process. If it's good enough for Roger Federer to have a coach, it's good enough for us as well. So find an expert, find a coach, find a consultant who can help you, and you'll have the opportunity to take your webinars to a whole new level. If you're a regular of these videos, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. But today I want to tell you about something that's not video content. Do you sometimes wish when you're in the car or on the gym or in the shower that you wish you had something to listen to so you could learn about webinars more effectively? If you're a webinar fanatic like I am and you want to get the chance to take advantage of those opportunities to do more learning, then there's a podcast for you, the Webinar Skills Podcast, hosted by yours truly. And I'm very excited about the Webinar Skills Podcast. It's only just been recently released and it's going great. So if you want the chance to listen to top class webinar presenters like John Lee Dumas, like Rick Mulready, like Joe Daniel, like George Cow and Kate Erickson, then tune into the Webinar Skills podcast. You'll find it on iTunes or Stitcher Radio. Search for it, Webinar Skills Podcast, or click the link below to go to the Webinar Skills Podcast. Please have a listen to one of the episodes. I hope you love it. As always, thank you for watching today's video. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It has an added benefit of not only are you more likely to see my future videos, but it also makes it more likely that other webinar presenters will be exposed to my videos as well and be able to access my free training. So please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you do, I will really appreciate it. And as always, have an awesome day. Let's talk about webinar engagement and why Jerry Seinfeld gets it. Webinar engagement is one of the most used terms by webinar professionals. It's